G'day everyone and welcome to another episode of Bushcraft and Camping Adventures. This is an interesting time to be out camping. The title was no clickbait, this is legit. Today we are expecting temperatures of up to 44 degrees Celsius. Fahrenheit, that's between 110 and 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Insane heat. We are in the grips of one of the biggest bushfires the country's ever seen. I mean, as far as sheer amount of burnt area, one of the biggest ones I reckon the planet's ever seen. We are in extreme bushfire conditions. It is considered a bushfire emergency across the entire state. There is a 4-day total fire ban across the entire state. We are in the grips of one of the worst droughts the country's ever seen, ever. The interior of Australia is a dust bowl. The agriculture industry is being torn apart. It's getting real in this part of the world, let me tell you. This fire has been burning for months and I will tell you a lot about it as we get into the video. But I'm out here because I don't let that stop me. I really need to get out and connect with nature, be it danger or no danger. So today we are out here for an old-fashioned camp out. It's going to be a really good trip. It could get interesting. It is already hot. I'm sweating standing still. Hold on tight. Here we go. Good thing about the weather being so extreme and the bushfires being so extreme is that there's not going to be many people out here today. Pretty much got this entire forest to myself, I reckon. I don't think literally anyone's stupid enough to come out. I mean, there's a legit risk. If the wind blows in the wrong direction for a long enough time, this area is absolutely in the path of a major fire. Again, I'll talk to you about it a little bit later. I've checked the winds and they are blowing in this direction for about 3 hours, but then it blows back in the opposite direction. So I don't believe there's any risk of that fire actually reaching here. I think it's about 20 kilometers away, which I know. But I literally have this entire place to myself. We'll be staying in here tonight, nicely ventilated, mosquito net up, probably no sleeping bag at all because, did I mention it's hot? It's hot. Like I'm sweating up a storm just clearing crap off the floor here. I know if you're observant, you would have noticed something on the floor down here. Let me show you. Now, anyone who use the sorts of chairs that I do, mine is a Helionox brand, really, really good, will know that with some grounds, soft grounds, your chair just digs into the floor and it makes it really, really low to the ground and really problematic. So what I've done is I've just simply embedded some wood on the floor. And the reason for that is to provide some kind of support, stable foundation for my chair. So I can sit down and I do not have to worry about my chair sinking into the floor. It seems like a little thing, but it's a big thing because now I've actually got my legs up off the floor and I'm actually comfortable. Oh, where's the air conditioner in this place? Yeah, that's right. I'm eating an ice block on a 40-degree day in the middle of the bush. I bought one in the esky. Ice block. Bush. 40 degrees. Ice block. Bushcraft that. Now the next tip isn't really exactly a bushcraft tip, it's more a survival tip and a camp life tip. But a lot of you may have seen them in my videos, and I just thought I'd give you the tip. Plastic bags. Always carry a plastic bag on you, or 3 or 4 of them in your kit at all times. Number 1, they're a bin. When you're not using your tripod for fire, which I'm clearly not today, makes a great rubbish bin. Put all your rubbish and any other rubbish you find in the area in there. You can also tie a plastic bag around a group of leaves, leave it overnight, and you will get, in most conditions, some drinkable water off the leaves in form of dew, and that will all collect in the bottom of the bag, and you'll have that to drink when you need it in a survival situation. Great to put your boots in while you sleep, especially in the Australian bush. You don't want to be leaving your shoes lying around just willy-nilly. So you whack them in a plastic bag and no creepy crawlers can get in there while you sleep. There's so many good uses for a plastic bag. In a worst case scenario, it's a waterproofing solution. You can put important gear in it, obviously. You can cover yourself in it if you want. And I've done that. There's a video where it started peeing down on me and I was in a shelter just back that way. And I used the plastic bags to protect my pillow and the top part of my bed from the rain. So plastic bags are a really, really good little thing to bring in your kit. Whoa, wallaby. Oh, I just got the goosebumps, man. I thought someone was running up to me. See you, dude. See you, dude. You're the same wallaby I always see. I love that wallaby, man. He always rocks up here and says hello. See you, bud. He's the same dope. He wanders into my camp. He comes curious and he wanders into my camp all the time. Did you hear that? I hope you heard that. Because it sounded like someone running at me like, shh, shh, shh. It's about to freak out. The wallaby endorses plastic bags as a survival item. Just make sure you chuck them in the bin before you go and you don't leave them in the bush, obviously. Now that is a proof of concept for my roof. Have a look here. Imagine I wasn't to cut it off at the top here. I could just rip it the whole way up. So that possibly the future of the roof of this structure. I had a brainwave. There's a lot of dead standing that are too big to chop down. So what if instead of chopping them down, I just debarked them? I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. Secondly, if I can do it safely, a lot of the wood on my shelter. Suddenly this roof seems like a lot of work, but just one good idea away, and that was the obvious idea all along. And just for the record, as long as you don't go round the tree completely, then it should be right. You kill the tree if you ring it. Basically separating the top from the bottom as far as the flow of nutrients and all that good stuff. The roof, the future roof. Well, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon now, and it's at its peak heat. To give you an idea of how hot it is. Now I don't have my thermometer here, but it's forecast to be 43 right now, and given that I'm in the shade, it probably is. The shade's saving me quite a lot. But to give you an idea how hot it is, I got wet ones, and I thought, I'll just wipe myself down and freshen myself up a bit. I always do that out here. Again, go ahead and judge me. So I got the wet ones, and I wiped myself down. Now anyone who uses a wet towelette to refreshen themselves knows that after you do it, you get the nice cool hit from the breeze hitting your face, and it feels all lovely. Well, it's so hot out here, it just evaporated off my body, and I feel exactly the same. It's kind of like I'm sitting in front of the oven is open. It's been cooking for about an hour, and the oven door's open, and I'm just sitting, from here to the oven away, and you just got that radiating heat hitting you. That's what it feels like. I know it doesn't look it, but that's what it feels like. On the upside, well, upside and downside, the wind has not hit at all, which means that the fire won't be moving much at all. So that's a good thing, but it's bad because I really need a breeze to hit me right now, which is the whole point of this little spiel, and so spiel's over. Alright, I have this little wall here that I've made quite the interactive little piece. I've got a hook here, and that's to hang the MP3 player, or that. I think I might face it that way. Here, got the axe groove to hold the axe. Holds it in place, not going anywhere. Now, I've been looking for somewhere to put a phone if I'm playing music or something for quite a while. I've worked it out. Last trip here, I just got my knife and just cut that away. Alright, I cover it up like that when it's not in use. That's the piece of roof sample that I showed you before. Now, strap, 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 strap. I have strapped them all together. So clipped this corner, this top corner to the bottom corner, and clip this bottom corner to that top corner. Alright, so I've got the bag hanging. This is how I've got it hanging. I've put the straps of the bag hanging around this stick. Then to push that out, which in effect pulls the bag up onto the wall, I've braced it with 2 diagonal braces. So now the possibilities pouch is on the wall. Easy access. How you doing? But it doesn't stop there. As I showed you before, even a little natural groove in there to rest the phone in. Listen to music, it's perfect. Look, not going anywhere. And then the piece de resistance, when the cover is not in use, bang. If I really wanted to keep it super safe, I could put the phone in there. Craig's thingamajiggy and phone holder. Da 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 da. Alright, so let's tell you a bit about this fire and this weather situation that's going on right now. So in Australia, there's been a really, really bad drought, like exceptionally bad. Look at these photos. Australia is normally fairly green. I mean, there is much of it desert, obviously. But I'll try and throw in some comparisons here to show you the difference. There's stories of, farmers having to go out, many stories of farmers having to go out, shoot their livestock to put them out of their misery because they're starving to death. They can't get water, they can't get food. The stories of farmers shooting themselves, suicide, because they can't bear the thought of losing their farm and all the livestock they had to go kill. So the drought is really, really bad. And what happens when you have a drought? You can have really bad bushfires because obviously everything's very dry. So they warned everyone about them, and they said that, you know, this season could be really bad, do something about it. Not much was done. And now we have a bushfire that is, in total, the bush season this year has burnt over 3 million hectares. 3 million hectares. Now, to give you a comparison, the Amazon fire, 900,000 hectares. We're looking at a 3 million hectare fire. There's one fire, which is the one that I've got to just keep in the back of my head, 450,000 hectares. It's called the Gosper Mountain Mega Blaze or Mega Fire. And that's 450,000 hectares. It's the total burn space is more than like the country of Wales. Like, it's crazy. So it's a really significant bushfire. We've had 2 months, literally it's been burning for 2 months. And we've had days where you can't really even go outside because it's that bad. The air quality index or the pollution quality, or there's an index that describes breathable air quality. At one point in one suburb, it was 2,200. The highest safe level you should have is 200. You do the maths. There was a day when I was teaching at school and we thought we might, have to shut the school down because it was just really thick in the air. It was messing everyone up. It's been 2 weeks like that. The sky, let me tip you back. That's not clouds, that's the smoke. I can pick it up a bit with my vision. If you look across a big mountain range, you can hardly see the mountain at all. You can smell the smoke in the air and you can see ash falling sometimes. So the fires are really, really bad. I think 7 people have died and there's been multiple hundreds, close to 1,000 homes destroyed. The koala in certain areas is pretty much gone forever. Certain local populations can't recover ever again. And that pushes an already endangered animal closer to the brink, and that's the koala. That's our koala. So many died in these fires. What they do is they go up to the top of the trees and they ride the fires out. But when they're these mega fires, because there's so much debris and stuff on the ground, they haven't done back burning and all that kind of stuff. When a fire happens, it's super hot. So the koalas at the top of the trees, the whole tree catches fire. And you have, 50-meter flames. It's crazy. So the fire is pretty bad. And today is the last day of a 4-day statewide fire ban. No one's even cooking on a barbecue today. There's been a extreme fire risk. The only one up from that is catastrophic. And we've had catastrophic fire rating already with this bushfire. If I was to even light a fire today, I would be an absolute idiot, and that goes without saying, obviously. And the other thing is the heat. As you can see, I'm baking here. My phone's on fire because the outside ambient temperature is probably 43 degrees. It doesn't like it. It's burning a hole in my leg. So you got this extreme heat mixed with the smoke in the air. You're meant to have strong winds, which would have been a disaster for the fires. But thankfully the winds are only mild. The problem with that, as I've already said, I want a breeze, man. It's so still and dry and just horrible. So they're the conditions that I find myself in today. It's all very real, man. It's all very real. Everyone I've told I'm going out camping said they wanted no part of it. So this was meant to be a trip with the maniacs, George and Ross. This was meant to be the one. But they both said, nah, mate, I'm good. They didn't want a piece of it with the fires. I was very disappointed. So that's been postponed to the next trip now. So you're going to have a Maniacs video coming up soon. And for a lot of my viewers, you haven't seen the Maniacs in quite a while. Some of you never at all. It's just two of my good mates from school, 2 fellow teachers, and we come camping and act like idiots. Sometimes it's very funny. Sometimes it's very not. So I'm going to go do something that doesn't involve moving. One thing with not having a fire this time is I'm definitely more ready for it. Last time I just kind of bought normal food and regretted it, ate cold patties, all sorts of stupid stuff. This time I'm prepared. Look at that. I don't get to eat bread, but this is a low carb, high protein bread. So I'll get to enjoy this. And what's on it? Nothing but Vegemite. If you're not in Australia and you don't eat Vegemite, you're just damn crazy. You put like a decent amount of butter. And then about 2/3 of the amount of butter you put as Vegemite. Put it all the way to the edges of the sandwich. All the way to the crust. Squish it down. If you want it extra good, you put it in the fridge for 10 minutes. It's exactly what this is like. Thanks to the esky, cold like it's out of the fridge. We're happy little Vegemites, as bright can be.
We all enjoy our Vegemite for breakfast, lunch and tea. Our mummies say we're growing stronger every single week because we love our Vegemite. We all adore our Vegemite. It was a rose in every cheek.
Everyone has their way.
Beautiful. It's still pretty hot. As you can see, I've poured some water over myself. It's just so still. There's no wind to speak of at all. And that wind was meant to be really kicking in. I know it will come in later, but the treetops are just still as. I can look straight at the sun and see a perfect circle behind all the smoke. Again, that's not clouds, that's smoke. All that white is smoke. And as the sun comes down on the horizon, we might be able to get some cool footages. But it's still really hot. It's horrible. It's horrible. I'm sticky. Keep using the wet ones to freshen my face up a bit. They're not doing much, but I'm doing it. So yeah, this would be about the time I'd start thinking about lighting a fire and eating. Still very, very hot. Well, it's 6 o'clock and I am dying for wind. It's so still. I think I've said this 17 times. It's just sapping your will to live. Like, I'm just sitting out here and I don't want to do anything. I was going to do the roof today, but there's no chance. It's so hot still. I reckon it's still over 35 degrees. I reckon it's still over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's 6 o'clock at night. Can't wait for that breeze to kick in. It better kick in because it was meant to be here and it hasn't been here all day. It's just been pointlessly still. Alright, well, it's finally cooled down a little bit now, thankfully. Yeah, the temperature's probably dropped to, 30, 32 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. And I think that for the first time I'm getting a little bit comfortable now, so that's good. The problem with not bringing food to cook is that there's no main event for my eating today. It's just all snacks. It's a snackathon. And so I'm never feeling full. I'm just sitting here going from this to that, to that, to that, and just eating. There's not much else I can do in the heat anyway, but that's what I've been doing. Yep. Good news, the wind has kicked in. That means I've done it. I've gotten past the worst of a 44, 43 degree day. Extreme heat, extreme dryness, fire risk, the whole works. And now we bring on the night. Again, no fire tonight, so it's going to be relying on headset, torches, etc, etc. Never a big fan of it, but this gets boring without a fire to watch sometimes. And I love lighting a fire. Different ways to do it. I miss it, man. Breathing all this smoke in the air all day has done a number on me. So I've been out in it all day. Normally you're inside for most of the day. My eyes feel like they're going to drop out of my head. And my nose is really dry and I've been sneezing a bit off camera. But that's nothing new. We've been doing this for 6, 7, 8 weeks, maybe more. Ah, well. Alright, well, it's about night time now, so this is where the no fire factor kicks in. I got my spotlight on my camp, I got my headlight on my head, I got my camera light if I need it. Plenty of light sources, no major dramas. The highlight of dinner was probably a bunch of chocolate. Delicious, very nice. Bit of the old dark chocolate. Dark chocolate for the win. Don't even sit there and tell me about any milk chocolate rubbish. Milk chocolate has its place, but I understand dark chocolate is the best. 70% old gold. Delicious. So I've been listening to some podcasts, I've been listening to the silence, I've been reading some books, I've been having little naps here and there, so I feel quite energized. Nothing exciting has really happened, if I'm to be honest. I'm just very relieved that we are into cool temperatures, maybe to the extent that I can even use my sleeping bag. I was just going to open it up and sleep on it, sleep on top. But maybe we can use it now. The sky looks yellowy, almost greeny in parts. Very mild yellowy greeny grey. It's interesting. So yeah, I'm going to keep enjoying this. You keep enjoying yourself. Go get something to eat. You know what I like to do at these times? Like fry up a couple of eggs. Maybe put some halloumi on. Fry up some eggs. Sometimes if I don't want as much fatty protein, I'll have some green beans and onion and put some tomato paste and just mix it up, slowly cook it. Very nice. What's your go-to trying to be healthy snack food? Alright, anyway. Bushcraft camping adventures. Well, I've been sitting around listening to the trees squeak and the wind blow. Branches crashing around. I haven't had the fire to focus on, so the sounds have kind of taken over. That's an interesting kind of little twist there. Well, I'm going to get underneath the mosquito net and work out the blanket situation and get my pants off, free my feet up, so yeah, get comfortable. So I guess unless we hear something awesome or see something awesome, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Well, good morning everyone. I've been up for about half an hour. I slept very nicely. This bed's never failed me, it really hasn't. It's got a nice little curve to it that just matches the curvature of your body. It was a good sleep. Minimal interruption, minimal problems. So really no complaints. The temperature is quite cool. There's a breeze. The heat from yesterday is but a memory. So I'm going to eat some Vegemite sandwich. Vegemite sandwich, that's right, I bought two. I'm going to eat a Vegemite sandwich. Eat some fruit. It's not quite the same as the old halloums, but not everything can be halloums. This is what I've realised in my old age. Halloumi should be treasured. It's just a really good spot. It really is. Alright. Up and at them. Up and at them. Up and at them.
Up and at them.
Up and at them.
Up and at them.
Up and at them.
Up and at them.
Up and at them. Up and at them. Up and at them. Up and at I can't remember how to do this impression. Up and at them.
Up and at them.
Rainier Wolf Castle. Close one eye. Stand to the side. Everyone grows but me. Well, unfortunately, after having a nice breakfast, done a bit of a stretch and a walk around, this is one of those trips where I got to make tracks pretty much now. It's Christmas in 3 days. And I've got to head back home and do some Christmas shopping with the missus, get my son and daughter's Christmas presents. We've already gone out and got most of the relatives. We already know what we're getting them. It won't be hard to get, but you know what it's like with Christmas shopping. One thing leads to another, and before you know it, you're out there for 5 hours. So best to get enough time to get everything bought and purchased. For those who have been interested in a bit of a follow-up with the kids, Samuel's now 2.5 and Harper's pushing 10 months, and they are best buds, man. It's so cute to watch them play together. It's like Samuel just loves everyone, and he just wants someone to play with, like, so badly. All the time, he just wants someone to play with. And you watch them play together, and it's absolutely gorgeous. They're such good kids. We took Samuel to see Santa yesterday. He was really looking forward to it, and then in the heat of the moment, he got a little bit freaked out by Santa and kind of sat there just looking weirded out the whole time. While Harper lost her absolute mind. Did not enjoy it at all. Look at the picture. But yeah, they're good kids. I'm a lucky guy. So I'm going to get back to them now, get back to the missus, have a shower, go Christmas shopping and start getting ourselves ready for Christmas, because the house isn't quite ready yet. So that's my plans for the day. I'm not quite sure what your plans include, but whatever it is, I hope you have a really good Christmas if you celebrate it. If not, then just enjoy your holiday period. As always, I appreciate you spending your time with me. There's something in my eye, I'm not winking at you. It's always a good time out here, and I always appreciate you guys coming along with me. It's going to be a crazy Christmas at our house, because Samuel's at the age where he's just going to lose his mind over everything, and then probably not going to want to share any of his gifts. But that's alright, we'll teach him around that. But yeah, real life, huh? And keep an eye out. Very soon, if it hasn't already been announced, keep an eye out. I have some very big announcements coming up in the next video. It's definitely something to look forward to. Big changes that I think all of you are going to like. I'm trying to put you guys first. And yeah, let's just say big changes. Big changes. Good changes. But that's in the next video. Well, I think that'll do me. I'm all about to be packed up. Just got to put the rest of the gear away, take this tripod, whack it on the front, and I'll be back packed up and good to go. So that was another beautiful camping trip. Look, I'll be honest, it wasn't the most comfortable I've ever come across, and let's fingers crossed that when we get home all those bushfires are out and that they've all been brought under control, although I doubt it. But the conditions yesterday, I think, at least from my perspective here, the conditions were much better for fighting fires than they have been. The wind kept down when the heat was up, and that would have prevented the spread. So let's hope that they went away a little bit, and that that people and firefighters were okay. But that's this trip done. We survived with no fire. We survived with the bushfires. We survived with the heat. Very good. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your company. I hope it was entertainment. I hope you got a bit of an escape through watching it. And overall, I hope you have a great day, a great Christmas, and if I don't see you before then, a great New Year. So until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.